Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Diana. Some of you may also... Oh, shoot. Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Diana. Some of you may also know me as former porn star Desi Fox. As you can see, I'm alive and well and living at an undisclosed location somewhere inside the United States. I want to thank you all for joining me here tonight for my first live broadcast at Desi's Desires Live. I decided to present a series of live episodes here to talk about many issues Americans are facing these days. Tonight, I want to introduce you to this series. I'll be broadcasting 2 shows each week. These shows will be presented in a commentary format, each lasting approximately 20 to 30 minutes, after which I will open the lines for comments and questions I encourage you all to participate in. Tonight and going forward on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be presenting pornography, fantasy versus reality. We'll be discussing facts and fiction inside the porn industry. We'll be talking about different issues that Americans are having which are related to porn. If you watch porn, you need to watch this series. There's a whole lot of dirty little secrets the porn industry doesn't want you to know. Porn is affecting many different aspects of our lives, but nobody seems to be addressing them. I'll be sharing these issues with you all and backing them up with the hardcore facts. On Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be presenting Women's Issues in America Today. We'll talk about porn, dating and relationships, politics, discrimination, and equality. You need to know how women's lives across America are being affected by these important issues. As women, you need to be aware of how these subjects relate to your life. What's happening in the sex industries is damaging our basic human rights and equality. It's threatening our very rights to freedom. Women's lives everywhere are being affected by what's happening in the porn industry. Be a part of bringing awareness to women's issues everywhere. I hope you'll watch this series because they do involve women and our future. Before I started working in the porn industry, I spent 15 years as a business executive inside the banking and investment industries. A very traumatic event took place in my life, and the next thing I knew, I was selling my body to men for a living. I worked as a performer inside the porn industry for 1.5 years not that long ago. I also spent 4 months in a legal brothel in Nevada before getting my life back to the real world. I've been out of the sex industries for about 6 months now, and I'm still trying to rebuild my life despite the stigma that follows me everywhere. Once you've worked in the sex industries, most people think you're just some dumb whore. I'm here to prove that concept is wrong by telling exactly what the porn industry is doing. The porn industry is not the glamorous and fun lifestyle they want you to think that it is. I know the general perception is that everyone works there because they really want to. You think these women are all having a great time. You think that they all love having hardcore sex. The fact is, women end up in the sex industries because of many different reasons, not a single one of which is because they love having sex. Most end up there because of some traumatic event that took place in their lives, so the reality is sex has nothing to do with it. That is one of the porn industry's biggest lies. I really didn't know that much about porn when I ended up working in the sex industries. Like most of you, I looked at it as an extension of Hollywood. It didn't take me long to start seeing the pattern of what they were really doing to our entire country. I remember the first time I started to pay attention. Someone said the porn industry was $1 billion business, and I said, "What?" I thought it was some people into swinging. I was just as naive as most of you are. Having been a businesswoman, though, when I heard the amount of money involved, it made me sit up and pay attention. It was then I made the decision that I would learn everything I could about the porn industry. Truthfully, there's a lot that I wish I didn't know, because believe me when I tell you, what I saw was the true faces of evil during the time I worked in the porn industry. It's been very hard for me to leave the girls there now that I know what I know about what they go through. Because of the dark truths that I was forced to see, I decided I would have to speak out about everything I learned while I worked as a performer inside this abusive industry. Thousands of young women go to major cities every year wanting to be actors, models, musicians, and artists. They are recruited every day over the internet and given the hope that they can truly reach stardom. The fact is, the porn industry's recruiters are running the same game the average street pimp plays. The only real difference is the stakes are much higher. They make billions of dollars off these women who work in the porn industry. The selling of women and children for sex in America is only third behind weapons and drugs for illegal sales in our country. That is because these pimps can sell human beings over and over again. When you start putting together all the staggering statistics, you'll realize real fast that porn doesn't have anything to do with the women. We're facing an epidemic that's growing right here in America, and Hollywood is promoting it to you all as just another form of entertainment. Did you know that over 75% of the entire world's pornography is produced right here in our country? That's right, America is responsible for the booming porn industry and over 4 million hardcore porn sites on the internet. This is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year problem that our country has created and is cultivating. In order to keep producing fresh content for the millions of consumers who buy porn every day, they need to shoot fresh faces, which the industry calls fresh meat. They have to bring in fresh young girls to update those 4 million websites on a weekly basis. Women are not human beings in the porn industry. Instead, we are simply body parts they peddle to the consumer through their websites and videos. The only way the porn industry can get that many young women to come to Porn Valley is to reach into your homes and touch your family through their online recruiting and Hollywood promotions. The porn industry has addicted millions of men and boys to sex and porn. Sexual addiction can actually change the way your brain functions. An orgasm creates a chemical reaction in your brain that is extremely similar to that of using heroin. Every time you masturbate to porn, you're supplying your brain with another drug fix that will addict you. They want you all to become addicted to their product because that will make sure you're a lifetime consumer. It also trains these young girls to become the next generation of sex slaves. Did you know the average age to view porn for the first time is 11 years old? Did you know the largest group of viewers of all that free porn on the internet is between the ages of 11 and 17? There are millions of free hardcore porn images and videos easily accessible to our kids on the internet today. Viewing porn online for most of these kids is the first sexual experience they will have. Our young people's sexuality is being formed right now by these sexual predators and human sex traffickers of America. Young people are growing up thinking porn sex is how sex is supposed to be, but it couldn't be any further from actual reality. Porn sells you the fantasy that girls are only good for one thing, which is to have sex with and pleasure a man. They make you look at women as body parts instead of real people. They sell you the fantasy that all girls love sex and want to have hardcore sex in the same ways they do in porn. They make you think it's the girl's role to service and please a man with nothing received or expected in return. The truth is, girls in porn do not enjoy the sex at their shoots. They experience pain and humiliation during the entire process of shooting a sex scene. Some girls cry throughout the whole process. Many girls are really angry by the time the producer yells cut. They hate being ejaculated on their faces and often get very rude with the male performers as soon as it's over. Most of the girls end up on drugs and alcohol just to be able to cope with doing a porn scene. They tend to be very depressed unless they are high, and they have no life outside of the sex industries. There's industry people who watch everything they do and never let them out of their sight. These girls got into the porn industry thinking it would be fun, They can make some extra money and maybe get famous. Once they're there, instead they find themselves stuck in a world full of abuse and degradation of women. Once you do that first porn scene in your